Today I messed up by assuming a girl's age. Just a few hours ago, I stood on line at the grocery store. Just ahead of me, a woman and her young daughter waited. The young girl stood with her arms stretched high above her head because she was holding her mom's hand, and she was staring right at me. I looked at her, grinned, looked away, but felt her eyes still on me, so turned back and smiled again, this time holding eye contact a little longer, hoping she would turn away instead. She said, out of nowhere, like kids tend to, "You look 40, I chuckled and said, "Not yet. I'm 29. How old are you?" "You look 5. Her face contorted into genuine horror before she screamed, literally screamed, "I'm 3. She started wailing, insulted beyond belief, causing a scene and leaving me looking eye to eye with the mother, who was nice enough but clearly trying to make sure I hadn't just done something to her daughter while her back was turned. I left to go to another line, and the crying did not stop until the girl was pulled out of the store with a full cart and a mom who looked like she'd rather be anywhere else. Too long. Didn't read. Told a 3-year-old girl she looked 5 and learned the hard way it is never too early to insult a woman about her age. Today I messed up by not jerking off. This didn't happen today, but about 2 years ago. I went to an away camp for the first time in my life. I was excited. When I got there, I got along great with everyone, especially the counselors. They made me a CIT, counselor in training, and I was assigned to a cabin of 8-year-old boys. Now I didn't want to jerk off in the bathroom with a 10-year-old 2 feet outside the door, so I didn't. 3 weeks pass and I'm doing activities outside and my balls start to hurt. This was a pain I hadn't felt before. It wasn't like being hit in the balls, more like them constantly being slapped. After a while I couldn't bear it anymore and went to the nurse and explained what my problem was. She had no idea what it was and was worried it might have been twisted ball syndrome. Thank the good Lord baby Jesus it wasn't, but she didn't know for sure. She goes inside and brings out a male counselor, and he comes up to me and says, "I know exactly what's going on. This has happened to me before. How long have you been here?" I said 3 weeks, and he asked, "What haven't you done in 3 weeks?" I had to think, but I asked, "Jerk off?" He replied, "Yup, you need to go do that now." So I go back to the cabin and I proceed to bust the quickest and biggest nut in my life. I spent the next 30 minutes cleaning the bathroom. Too long. Didn't read. I didn't jerk off for 3 weeks because I was in a cabin full of little kids. Proceeded to feel the worst pain in my balls ever and make the biggest jerking off mess I ever have. Today I messed up by accidentally showing my mom my vibrators. This actually happened today. My mom is still at my house and I'm trying to forget it happened. So, today my parents came over for dinner. I took my mom into my bedroom to show her my wood floors that I uncovered when I ripped up the ugly carpet in my 1960s fixer-upper. She saw my old dresser that I've had since a child was falling apart and asked me if I wanted my dad to look for a new used one at an estate sale. This dresser is really falling apart and I wanted to show my mom that one of the drawers has a hole in the bottom. Normally I do keep my vibrators in said drawer, but usually I keep them in a cloth bag. I forgot that the last time I used them. I hurried up and threw them in the drawer because my husband didn't tell me his friend was coming over and I heard them downstairs. So I whip open the drawer to show my mom and there are 2 big vibrators out in the open. I hurried up and tried to cover them with clothes and slammed the drawer shut, but she definitely saw because she hurried up and looked away. Yep. I'm mortified. Too long. Didn't read. I tried to show my mom my broken dresser and accidentally showed her my vibrators. Today I messed up by calling my manager a fucking bitch. Happened a couple hours ago. I'm the maintenance supervisor for an apartment complex and I was helping my tech move one of our model apartments to a new location. Knowing I would get thirsty, I grabbed my water bottle and fill her up before we begin. We've made a few solid trips and wanted to take 5 for a drink of water and text some vendors back. I go to grab my water bottle and can't find it. I'm getting annoyed because I'm thirsty and I had just bought the water bottle a month ago. I lose shit all the time and it truly annoys me how awful I am at keeping track of things. I'm looking all over, backtracking from one apartment to the other and back down to the shop. I finally make my way to the office where the break room is, thinking I might have just left it when I filled it up and didn't even bring it with me. I walk into the office and the break room is immediately to the left. There in all its glory is my water bottle sitting on the table. I was desperate for something to drink and angry for misplacing it, so I blurt out, "There you are, you goddamn bitch." Just as I started yelling, my manager walks around corner from printing something off and was standing right by the bottle. It was clear she thought I was talking to her, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone so appalled or shocked in my life, except for once in the military, but that's another story. Realizing I just messed up, I dash forward and scrabble over the table, chest high, to grab my water bottle and explain. I gasp, "Not you. The water bottle. Couldn't find it." She realized what I was trying to say and went from, "I'ma slap ya," straight to gut-busting laughter. We stood there for a solid minute laughing our asses off. Thankfully she swears like a sailor too and thought the whole thing was hilarious. So moral of the story is work with cool people and don't yell at inanimate objects. Too long. Didn't read. Lost my water bottle, and when I found it I yelled, "There you are, you goddamn bitch," right as my manager was rounding the corner. She thought I was yelling at her before realizing I'm just an insane person yelling at inanimate objects, and much laughter ensued.